So, this is part 2. We did the 1980s with Mike Bev. That was his track that we did the last time. And if you can't tell, the reason why we kind of skipped a week before going ahead and doing the up one, I'm still trying to get over being sick. I'm going to do the best I can to my ability with this video, but I said that we were going to get all 3 of them out, and damn it, we're going to get all 3 of them out the best we can. The next person up on the list is going to be my good friend Prawn. He's also fairly new when it comes to building tracks. He's actually made some pretty awesome tracks. I recently ran a mini series, a mini tour with him that he made his own version of World Finals. I believe it was in Houston, and it was a really awesome track. He put a lot of work and effort into it, and I said, hey, you know, why don't you kind of branch out and try something different? And he wanted to give a shot at the generator, and honestly, I think he did an excellent job. But before we go ahead and look into seeing what Mr. Prawn made, I'm going to go ahead and read you guys what he got off from the generator. So for the venue, Prawn got a stadium with a dirt surface in the 1990s era. So we're immediately going from the 80s to the 90s, so that's pretty cool. And he got no crush cars as well. Interesting. With the over and under racing track. Over and under stadium race in the 1990s, that's something that they probably weren't even thinking about being possible back then. So big obstacle that he has to have is also a step up. He decided to try the latter and go with 4 colors: green, purple, black, and yellow with a drip paint design. Very wild and crazy kind of setup that he's got to go with, but we're going to cut here and we're going to jump into BeamNG and check out what Mr. Prawn has made for us. I swear it's like the same thing from the last episode, you know, trying to load into BeamNG, and it's taking a hot minute. So there's not really a lot of terrains. So just here we go. Oh, there we go. Spoke too soon. Actually, you know what? Let me go ahead and show you guys my newest creation. So if you don't follow me on Instagram, this is my newest rendition for Derriere. I just love the way this thing turned out. Shout out to Taylor Andy's Jam Customs Official for throwing this together. It just looks great. At first, I wasn't so sure about the pink and the turquoise, but I really like it. There's some things I got to add to it, like, you know, you can probably tell it's clearly Gravedigger the Legend. And I haven't done anything as far as like coloring the shocks, coloring the 4 links, or nothing like that, but I definitely need to. Anyway, I'm going to stop talking about my truck. So this is definitely set up as a 1990s theme. Prawn kind of gave me a brief rundown as to how this is supposed to be brought up. Now, I know we are going to be running a multiplayer map, so this is the non-multiplayer version, so there are crushable vehicles. But just know when we run the actual event, there will be no crush physics. So both drivers will be actually starting on the exact same side. 3, 2, 1, wait for the green. Immediately, I really like the idea of having like the rollers for the containers. No crush cars, but he decided to add some vans. Interesting. I like the attention to detail, because those that remember watching the 90s, or it's hard to say that this is 90s because this feels like very, very early 2000s. But he did say that this is 99, so I guess it counts. Hard to say. Okay, so that you could hit the turn poles. Not too terrible. Okay. Again, it's not really that complicated of a track. It's more, it's fair. I will say it's I wouldn't say it's messy. There's just a lot to kind of take in and be aware of when it comes to your surroundings. Clearly, I'm not, you know, balls to the wall, going for it. But it is, oh boy. You really got to be kind of technical when it comes to coming around these turns. Get into this lap wheelie, and that's the finish line right there. So that's one entire lap before the track, and it is a very, like I said, it's a very interesting technical type of course. He decided to add like a bus and van stack. So again, I think this is more one of those things where he found a loophole in kind of the rules of the system that I kind of have at play here, and that is that I said no crush cars, not crushable vehicles, period. So as you can see, there's no cars, but there's a lot of vans. That's a step-up ramp, so that is definitely perfect. I never would have thought about using all the containers for this event, so I think that is a really cool element that he decided to add here. Now, as far as like the actual like looking at all the labels and everything on the side of this fence, it looks like he may have already taken a pre-existing track and just kind of went with what I had. So there's a couple things around here, like, you know, you see Gravedigger.com, you see the Path of Destruction label. So it's like, yeah, you can kind of tell like he was trying to get as close as he can to the era. But, you know, some of these guys that make these tracks are only so knowledgeable when it comes to building and interacting with whatever these maps entail. So I would have to say, as far as everything as far as criteria goes, the only thing that I'm a little skeptical on is, did you really meet the 1990s aspect of what you were required. Other than that, I think the track is a lot of fun. There is a lot of room. I feel like there is going to be, when it comes to racing, this over-under section of the track, like if you're falling behind, you're going to feel like you need to absolutely air it over the container center junction here, or even just trying to keep traction going over the van stacks here, or even going over the roller containers. I mean, these are really interesting concepts. I think Prawn, you did an awesome job. There's a lot of yellow here. You nailed it with all the colors, the drip design. I mean, I think this is a very interesting, a really fun looking track. So again, for me, I would have to give it an 8 out of 8. You followed everything. You did everything right. But it's not just me that you have to also impress. You have to impress your fellow competitors. So with that being said, we're going to cut it here, and we're going to jump into round 1 racing competition. Same format as before. We're going to be running racing with a elimination bracket, or a redemption bracket, sorry. And then we're also going to be doing freestyle as well. Again, I'm going to do the best I can with the commentary. I can only do so much because my voice is really raspy. So bear with me on that. But other than that, I hope you guys enjoy the video. I hope you guys enjoy the event. But let's get right into it and see what trucks these guys have chosen to face off against each other and who's going to come out on top here in New Orleans. All right, guys, and here we go. We're going to get ready here. Round 1 of racing here in New Orleans. And I got to say, this is kind of, hopefully this is a better approach with a camera angle, but it looks like we've got Maniac in the near lane and Gunslinger in the far lane here for round 1 of racing in New Orleans. Just kind of, as you can see, I'm having a little bit of issues, just trying to make sure I could see the entire course. I got to say, this is going to be kind of a close race. I love that this entire lineup is going to be a bunch of Fords. I'll kind of go over in a little bit, but here we go. They're off. Maniac in the close lane again. Gunslinger out in the far lane. And like I said, we're going to be running the same exact kind of racing setup as the previous video, where we're going to have a redemption bracket. So whoever does lose here will be the first to be entered into the redemption bracket. Gunslinger immediately over the big container jump, almost kind of overshooting it a little bit. You got to be careful when you're coming over that ramp. Otherwise, it may end up screwing you over and losing you the race. But Gunslinger is absolutely taking this track like an absolute champ. Kind of a little wonky there. A little bit of oil in the valve covers. Get a little bit of smoke there. And it looks like Maniac is having a bit of a struggle, but he might be able to make up some time here going over the container. But almost the same kind of issue, a little bit of an easier, kind of grazed the ramp a little bit. He goes a little bit too wide, Maniac, but they're both really even going over the container into the finish. Issues with Maniac. Oh no. Not entirely sure what happened over by the crushed vans here right in front of us. But it looks like Maniac must have, it looks like they must have hit the ramp wrong or something along those lines, because it looks like, if you look here closely, it looks like it completely lost the shock mount along with a couple 4-link bars. A very tough break for Maniac, and it looks like they're going to no grab it and take it all the way to the back. But yeah, look, there's a couple 4-links. They're just hanging off the truck. The shocks is completely off the truck, but he's able to fire it back up. He's unfortunately going to have to limp it back to the pits, and hopefully he'll be able to come back for round 1 of the redemption bracket. But we're coming up with a little bit more round 1 of racing. So our next lineup is going to be another all Ford lineup. Go figure. When it comes to the 90s, we don't really have a lot of Chevrolet trucks, unfortunately. And how about this for kind of throwing a curveball at you? We got Wildfoot here in the house tonight over in the far lane, and we've got Extreme Overkill here in the near lane. So again, kind of going over briefly what the old lineups were. Everyone's going to get 2 trucks, 8 trucks total, and they will be able to try and fight it out. But anyway, we're going to kind of focus a little bit here on the race, kind of get a little sidetrack. Both trucks are extremely even coming into the first corner and everything. Looks like Extreme Overkill may have overshot the turn just a little bit, and Wildfoot really grazing that racing lane there for the container jump, and unfortunately it looks like Extreme Overkill is kind of falling a little bit behind. Wildfoot is quite a distance in front of Extreme Overkill. Not entirely sure what's going on with that truck. Looks like he's having a bit of a time in the back there trying to essentially complete the course. Wildfoot, once they complete this next turn, they will basically be going on to the next round. Extreme Overkill driving extremely pissed. Looks like he was trying to long jump his truck into essentially the bleachers there, but he's determined to finish. It looks like, again, just airing the truck out. You're not doing anything other than just hurting yourself. Looking like he's losing a tie bar and amongst other parts. So tough break for Extreme Overkill, but it looks like the round 1 for Redemption Bracket is going to be Maniac and Extreme Overkill. Coming up next in round 1 of racing, we got a personal hometown favorite truck, a Michigan known truck is Mongoose out of Lansing, Michigan, and we're bringing back another truck from the previous video, Black Stallion. So Mongoose is kind of for those that don't know, Mongoose is a little bit of a Michigan legend, has been around for quite a while, has been in plenty of movies, mainly only known nowadays for the ride truck, but Mark Waltrus is still around and still, doing his thing, but he's not in competition anymore. Sad, because I'd really like to see him make a comeback at least once. But both trucks look like they are lining up and getting ready for the light to finally turn green. Not entirely sure what the holdup is. I think they're double checking some of the safety features. Okay, here we go. They finally got everything set up and dialed in. Looks like both trucks, yep, they're both ready for the green. Again, very, very cautiously going over that first container jump. But it looks like Black Stallion is fighting, almost having his own little rodeo over there. He is just all over the track. Not entirely sure if it's just that side of the course or if just these past 2 trucks that have raced that lane. Again, Black Stallion just completely airing it over the container jump, and he's over. Oh, no, wait, I spoke too soon. Black Stallion actually came out and saved it, thrown in reverse, and he's actually going to be able to come back and try to complete the race. But unfortunately, it looks like it is over too soon. I'm not 100% sure Black Stallion's going to be able to recover from that. Mongoose already over the container jump, coming into the final hairpin turn. Has to just go over the container and over the buses, or not the buses, sorry. Black Stallion whacks the inside of the containers. Tough break. But again, he's determined he's going to finish the race, but Mongoose has already taken the W and will be moving on to the next round. And unfortunately, Black Stallion will be going into the second round of the Redemption Bracket. Now, as you guys can see, the previous 6 trucks have all been nothing but Ford products. Me personally, I'm okay with that because I'm a big Ford guy. I love these old OBS trucks, but I feel like it's a little unfair. So these next 2 that are coming out, you probably could tell by just the banners, we got to have Gravedigger 12 come out here in New Orleans. But unfortunately, that ain't the loudest truck that we have here tonight. Oh, no sirree. Faced off against Gravedigger in their near lane. Camera angle's not doing it justice, but we got Barefoot in the house. So you got a little bit of old Hemi power and you got a little bit of bow tie power. Kind of unfair how we set up the bracket to where the only non-Fords are facing off against each other in round 1, but what are you going to do? So really, this is anybody's race. Both trucks are actually really fast. Gravedigger 12 with that longer wheelbase is really known for cornering, and honestly, this is definitely his type of course. But we're going to make sure everything is set and ready to go green here. Both trucks are up on RPMs and waiting for that light. There we go. Now they're off. Okay, so Gravedigger again taking a little cautiously over the container jump, but Barefoot with the amount of horsepower he's hauling there is really close and hot on his heels. But unfortunately, Barefoot goes a little too wide in that turn. Gravedigger being very consistent going over the giant container section in the center. In a great turn, immediately getting into the container. It looks like Barefoot clipped a turning pole or something and spun out over there going into the turn. Has finally gotten to the container. It looks like Gravedigger is just going to absolutely walk away with this race. Unless by some miracle something happens here. Barefoot needs to just have this thing pinned the entire way, but Gravedigger's already in through the last turn. He's just going to make it over the obstacle, up and over the vans, and Gravedigger has won and will be going on to the next round to face against Mongoose. And Barefoot will be meeting Black Stallion in the Redemption Bracket. You can tell he's definitely not happy about that, considering how fast and how dialed that truck is in for this competition here tonight. But as you can see, we're going to flip over to the other side of the track, and this is where we're going to be watching the Redemption side of the bracket. So like I said before, we're going to be bringing out Maniac in Extreme Overkill, Maniac in the far lane. I guess we're going to call that the L lane, and we're going to have Extreme Overkill here in the green lane. Both trucks are just kind of, I guess you could say, cruising the car, kind of getting a divot in, just kind of lining it up a little bit. And they're just going to get lined up immediately on the line, since, they obviously know we're not here to lollygag. We're not here to, take naps, essentially. Double checking the light, making sure everything is operationable. Both trucks are sitting and waiting for the green. waiting a long time for the green, apparently. Eventually it'll turn green. There we go. Okay. But again, extreme overkill is just having all sorts of issues. I don't know if it's just how that truck is set up, but it is just really not enjoying this track. And it goes a little wide again, but is the first to approach the container obstacle going over and actually greased it really well that time. Extreme overkill trying to stay in. Oh, no, I spoke too soon. Extreme overkill, unfortunately, went a little bit too hard and caught the concrete outside of the dirt and has rolled it over. Extreme overkill will be the first loser for tonight in racing. Unfortunately, we'll be finishing in 8th place. So only 2 points in racing for extreme overkill. Maniac, all they have to do is just finish the race. Kind of an insult to injury there, just giving extreme overkill a little bit of a nudge. But Maniac just crawling over the container, airing it out over the vans, and we'll be moving on into the next round. Again, a tough break. It looks like there's only just some minor cosmetic stuff that looks like may have had some issues here. But yeah, as soon as you get off that dirt and you find that concrete, those sidewalls just grip and will throw you over like nobody's business. But it looks like it's just cosmetic damage, so he will be back for freestyle. Again, we're staying in the redemption bracket, and we have got Black Stallion and Barefoot. Now, my question to you guys is, who do we want to see more? I know these are both very iconic names, very well-known and very well-respected in the industry, but one of these trucks will be joining Extreme Overkill in being eliminated from tonight's racing endeavors. So we'll be the near lane with the Hemi camp, or we'll be the far lane with Black Stallion and the Ford camp. Barefoot in the near lane, Black Stallion in the far lane. Who wants it more? Light has gone green. Trucks are both up and over the obstacle. Very close, but it looks like Barefoot is edging out just a little bit. And it looks like Black Stallion has nudged, unfortunately, those turning tires. And unless he can really find some traction here or some kind of extra gear, it looks like this is going to be Barefoot's race, already nudging the inside of the container. Unfortunately, this does not look good for Black Stallion. I believe Black Stallion may have to be going back to the pits here relatively soon. And yep, just like that, Black Stallion has rolled it over. Man, what a tough break for that camp. Hopefully Barefoot doesn't just come over and just pile drive this poor truck. It almost looked like he did. That was close. Barefoot going to the finish line, and we'll be moving on into the next round. So Maniac and Barefoot are still alive, but unfortunately Black Stallion and Extreme Overkill are out for tonight's racing endeavors, unfortunately, but we still got plenty more racing to go. We still got plenty more action coming right at you, so let's not hesitate. Let's just dive right into it. We have got Gunslinger coming out, and we'll be taking on, out of the Bigfoot camp in St. Louis, Missouri, Wildfoot in this crazy figure eight over-under. Basically, this is the track of nightmares, if I had to guess. If this track was made back in the day, I don't think people would know what to do with themselves. But this is a lot of fun to watch. I'm having a blast watching these guys just absolutely go out here, balls to the wall, and just let it all hang out for you guys. And I'm having fun. I hope you guys are too. Just curious, what was your favorite truck from the 1990s? If you were born around the 90s, I was born in 95, so this is definitely my type of era, monster trucks. But anyway, we're going to get right here into racing. We got Gunslinger and Wildfoot. Wildfoot immediately to the container. Looks like Wildfoot is edging Gunslinger out by maybe a tire length going over that van stack. Gunslinger going a little bit too wide, but he is not giving Wildfoot an inch. It is very crucial to be consistent going underneath the container contraption there and making sure you're not losing traction. The Gunslinger is hot on Wildfoot's heels, and he is not letting up. This is a very close race so far. Wildfoot so far in a decent lead, but right now, if Gunslinger... Oh no, Wildfoot kind of got caught up under the container there for a second, so Gunslinger coming into the last hairpin turn. Issues, it seems like, with Wildfoot. I'm not sure if he lost a tie bar or if he may have popped a tire, but Wildfoot, with some kind of mechanical breakage, will be knocked out and taken down to the redemption bracket where he'll be facing off against Maniac. Now, that doesn't mean that Wildfoot is out for tonight either. He may end up coming back and actually taking on Gunslinger in the finals, but who knows? that is why we came up with the redemption bracket, so that way these guys that get knocked out in this first round or the main bracket have an opportunity to come back and redeem themselves. But next up, we have got probably one of my personal all-time favorite trucks here tonight is going to be Mongoose. We'll be taking on the black and green cash flow money cash cow machine Gravedigger. And here in round 2 of racing in the main bracket, and the loser here will be facing off against Barefoot in the redemption bracket. So again, we've got Mongoose here in the near lane. I guess you call it the yellow lane with the yellow buses. Not buses, sorry, vans. Both trucks approach the container extremely cautiously, but again, it looks like Gravedigger edges out maybe by half a tire. This is a very close race so far. Obviously, Mongoose wants to come out here and take on Gravedigger and take on with stride, but it all depends as far as, that center section. The center section of the track is very crucial in how you're going to be able to come out in racing tonight. So Gravedigger comes over the van stack immediately and is doing an excellent job maintaining this lead, but Mongoose has an opportunity here going over the container stack to try and get ahead. Oh no, he may have overdone it there. I think that may have ruined his chances there, but he is doing what he can to make up some kind of ground. Coming up and over the van stack, Gravedigger wins, but oh no. Same issue as we had with Maniac in the round 1 of racing against Gunslinger. It looks like that housing is not attached whatsoever with the truck. What in the world happened down here? We're going to try and get a closer look to see what happened, but it looks like he's trying to immediately just back up to the pits. But it looks like you can kind of see a tie bar, a 4-link or something just fell off the truck. Yep, there is a 4-link bar completely separated. I don't think he has any kind of front steering whatsoever. I'm doing the best I can to kind of look and see what else is wrong with the truck. Yep, he does not have front steering. It looks like that was the tie bar that fell off. Tough break from Mongoose, but he will be able to try and come back here in the redemption bracket. But without further ado, we're back in the redemption bracket, actually. Wildfoot will be taking on Maniac. Maniac now in the near lane for the first time this evening, and Wildfoot will be going into the yellow lane on the far end. So a very unique, very kind of different matchup, obviously, something that we have yet to see here in our Track Generator Challenge series. Obviously, you have one very well-known truck, one that is not very, I wouldn't say it's not well-known, but one I personally really didn't see much about in my childhood for sure. But light has gone green. Both trucks are immediately going over the container. Wildfoot with a demanding lead. It looks like there was some kind of contact issue with Maniac. Parts are flying off the truck all over the place, but he's not giving an inch. He's like, I don't care if it's Bigfoot. I don't care if it's Snakebite. I don't care if it's Gravedigger. He's like, whether I've got 4 tires or 2 tires, I'm going to try and win this race. And that may or may not cost him, because it looks like he's having issues fighting that truck. I mean, you could see it clear as day as Wildfoot's coming across the line here. There's a part of this truck just laying there on the track. And yep, right there, it just cost him, because he was trying to come into that turning lane as fast as he could. I'm not sure if he clipped the turning poles or what happened, but it looks like he's going to have to call it there. I'm not sure if the truck just completely shut off, or basically he completely wadded up his entire front end. But that first hit for Maniac was just... That was not good. So a very tough, a second tough break actually for the Maniac camp here in New Orleans. So, and it looks like there is some slight breakage again on Wildfoot, but nothing that they can't do to get him ready for the next round of racing, because whoever wins this race will be facing off against Wildfoot. And whoever faces off against Wildfoot will be going into, well, I'm sorry, let me back up there. Basically, whoever wins here will go into the semifinals against Wildfoot. There we go. I did it. I got there. It took me a second. I'm sorry. I'm doing this as I go. Okay. So we got an all red truck field here. So just so that way those of you that are tuning in don't get confused, we have got Barefoot here in the near lane. You've got Mongoose out there in the far lane. As you can see, both these trucks are trying to play mind games a little bit, get everything set up for racing to go green here. But as soon as that light over there in the right side turns red, that means you are to be staged in your lane and ready to go. So both trucks are staged, waiting for the green light. And it looks like we have a false start. We had a false start on Mongoose in the far lane. Mongoose has false started. in the redemption bracket, and unfortunately will be knocked out of competition for this evening. This is Barefoot's race. Barefoot is going to basically take a bye run and just take a kind of a victory lap, if you will, around the track here. Barefoot will be going up here against Wildfoot in the semifinals. An absolute devastating break for the Mongoose camp. Mongoose really was coming into tonight's racing competition as very much so an underdog. I would say Maniac and Mongoose were both underdogs coming into tonight. That is definitely not the way anybody wants to go out in racing competition. Yeah, I can't imagine. I'm sure there's a lot of profanity being spoken in that cab right now. I know I would be very upset for sure. But he's going to drive it on back to the pits and get it all set and ready for Freestyle. Barefoot kind of soaking up the victory and just waiting for his next opponent to come out of the tunnel. He's already teasing him. He's already teasing Wildfoot. Like, hey, come on, I'm here. Ford versus Dodge. Who's it going to be? This is kind of like an old Penda rivalry. You know, you always had Barefoot and you always had the team Bigfoot kind of facing off against each other. So I like this. So whoever wins here will be going to the final round of racing. Now, that doesn't mean that it is the final. We still have one more race in the main bracket to face off, and it is going to be Gunslinger and Gravedigger. So both trucks are getting lined up and ready for green. This is going to be a no-holds-barred type of race here, ladies and gents. I honestly cannot choose a winner here. Not Rampage, sorry. Barefoot is running like a madman right now on this track and is just absolutely dominating coming into these turns. He is being extremely quick. He's being extremely frugal in making his choices. He's got a demanding lead over Wildfoot right now coming into that hairpin turn. Wildfoot definitely making up some ground. If Barefoot can get under the container contraption fast enough, should be able to come out with a win here. Both trucks are into the final corner. This is coming to the wire. Wildfoot looks like he snuck by, and Wildfoot, out of nowhere, comes up with a victory. An I have no idea where Wildfoot got the momentum or came up with the maybe there's nice. We might have to run tech or something after tonight's event. But holy crap, that looked like Barefoot had that race won by a mile, and then Wildfoot just kind of came out of nowhere and won. So that was just it for the redemption bracket. Now we got to run and see what we're going to do here and who's going to be the finalists here for racing this evening. So we've got in the near lane, we've got Gunslinger. In the far lane, you've got the black and green cash cow machine, Gravedigger. Facing off here in New Orleans, and we're going to see who will be joining Wildfoot here in the finals of racing. Will it be Gravedigger, the truck out of Kill Devil Hills, North Carolina, the king of freestyle, or it be the Florida man, Scott Hartsock and Gunslinger? Both trucks have gone green, and both trucks are pretty dead even. Gunslinger getting a little cattywampus going over the yellow set of vans, but both trucks are very dead even going to the very first turn, going up and over. Both trucks are almost dead even going into this turn here. Gunslinger is right there behind Gravedigger. Gravedigger getting a little weird over that container. I'm not sure what's going on there. Gunslinger kind of sneaking up behind here. If Gunslinger can land this ramp perfectly and get through the last turn, it is going to be a very close race. This last couple of jumps may determine who wins it, and it's going to be Gunslinger by half a truck. I'm not sure what happened there, but it looks like Gunslinger may have caught the one clip of the van stack. We're going to have to definitely go back in the track editor and see what's going on there. But something's definitely going on with that corner of the vans to where the trucks are kind of coming up and it's grabbing the housing, ripping stuff up. It looks like that almost happened again with Gunslinger. But Gunslinger's going to go to the back, check fuel, check tire pressure and everything, and we're here in the finals of racing. And all Ford final. I mean, who'd have thought? 6 out of the 8 trucks here tonight, they're all Fords. So, I mean, go figure, right? But who would have thought it would be this lineup in particular? To be 100% honest, going into this, if you were to ask me before we started this whole event, who was going to be in the finals, I honestly would have put my money on Gravedigger. That truck is set up specifically for this track, and that is why Prawn chose that truck to run at this event, because it is a turning course. It is a monster. It can handle anything that you throw at it. I would never have guessed that a coil spring truck, I'm not 100% sure if that truck actually has sway bars on it, but I would have never guessed coming into the final round of racing here on this technical course with more twists and turns that we know what to do with, that a coil spring and a counterlever suspension driven truck would be facing off in the finals. Never would have guessed it. You know, for those that don't know, counterlever suspension was typically used quite a bit back in the 90s for like the Penda series, a lot of straight line drag racing, kind of just help get the truck to squat and sit and get more traction as they're going over in that straight line of cars and everything. So to see a counterlever setup here in racing, in the finals of racing of all things, unheard of. And not to mention those that actually run coilovers on their trucks, well, they're a whole breed of their own, let's be honest. So both trucks are kind of getting double checked and ready. Light has gone green. Who is it going to be? Will it be the near lane? Will it be Gunslinger? Or will it be Wildfoot? It is a very even race so far. Trucks are very dead even going into the first corner. Gunslinger kind of falling behind just a little bit. I'm kind of on the edge of my seat. I'm really curious who's going to win this. Wildfoot he's running fast, but he's getting a little crooked. One small mess up going over some of these jumps, and it may cost him. Oh, no. Issues over there with Gunslinger. Gunslinger is currently running on 3 wheels. And it looks like we're not going to shut him off whatsoever. I guess our tech officials are taking a complete nap. They're taking a siesta. And Gunslinger has rolled it over, coming over the container. What a finale for racing. Wildfoot will take the win. Gunslinger is already doing a minor freestyle before we even got into freestyle. So the truck is already in a bunch of pieces. It looks like Wildfoot's just going to be over here and celebrating and showing off a little bit for you guys. He's going to go ahead and do a victory freestyle. But man, what a racing event. I mean, good Lord. Never would have guessed, like I said, a counterlever truck going to the finals and winning. He actually got knocked down to the redemption bracket. This was actually, come to think of it, looking at my sheet here, this was actually a rerun, or a rematch, sorry, of round 2 in the main bracket, where Gunslinger actually barely edged out Wildfoot and knocking Wildfoot down to the redemption bracket. But that's why we have the redemption bracket, to come back and come out and try to take on those that had knocked you out before. Not entirely sure what Wildfoot's doing over there in the corner, but there's just pieces laying everywhere here for Gunslinger. And they got a lot of work to do before they can come back out and really run that truck on the ground for freestyle. But don't you go anywhere, because freestyle is coming right up. Yep, that's how we roll here and on the Throttle Out show. No hesitation, no slacking, no nothing like that. We are here strictly because, well, it's entertainment. We love what we do. But I really hope you guys really enjoyed racing, because if you guys thought that was fun and exciting, well, we're not done yet. We still have 8 truck freestyle. And same thing as what we did before. You know, first obstacle that they hit, and a 2-minute timer will immediately start. So this is obviously pre-recorded, as you can tell, but we got a drone cam that's kind of following these trucks around. So sorry if you get motion sickness. Doing the best I can with what I have. So Extreme Overkill is going to be our very first truck to come out here, and he's going to air it out over the step-up ramp. 2 minutes is on the clock. And so far, he is definitely not afraid to air this thing out. I love that even after a rollover, he made sure he had to put his Razorback back on the truck. I mean, it's the little details. I know how he feels. I mean, he probably needs that in order to, make sure he can fly. But good Lord, he's just, what fell off? Okay, it's just the bumper. I thought he ate something and it's just digging into his drivetrain. Nobody wants that. But he's just getting all over the place. What in the world? This is a man driving pissed off, ladies and gentlemen. Coming over to the yellow lane over the container jump, airing it out. It looks like he was thinking about hitting a slap wheelie there, but just was not able to do it. He kind of landed a little wonky there. I'm not sure if it's just the way this truck is set up or what, but this truck is just not enjoying this course whatsoever. Going up and over the giant container contraption, almost rolling into the tunnel. Come on, extreme overkill. We must see. Oh, no. Oh, save it, save it, save it, save it. Nope. You hate to see it. And the Razorback fell back off. And so the... Yep. Well, you hate to see it. We're going to go ahead and do a no grab, roll her back over, and send her on back to the trailer. Tough break for old extreme overkill, but hey, it's the name of the game. That's why we do what we do. And we love what we do, for sure. Go on. Get out of here. Go on, get. Yeah, you can tell he's driving pissed off. All right. So that's 1 of 7. Who do we have next? Who is going to be number 2 for tonight's freestyle endeavors? Now, typically I try not to do it in the order for racing or how people finish, but we're going to be bringing Maniac out as our number 2 competitor for freestyle here this evening. And Maniac is lined up for the container jump or something. What is he thinking? Oh, no, he's trying to do a crossover. It looks like he did it. Oh, no. Bad bounce and... Dang. Well, that's a tough break. I've only had 2 trucks and they both rolled over fairly quick. Well, I know we don't really do scoring here on the freestyle side of things, but that was pretty bad. That was pretty bad. You should feel bad. Go back to the tunnel. Go. Bye. Well, that was pathetic. Who's next? Who do we have coming out next? Because yeah, that was pretty pathetic. That was like I'm not scoring. You guys in the comments are scoring this for freestyle, but that was pretty bad. I should be mad. You guys should tell them in the comments. Like, tell them how disappointed, how sad you are of that performance. That performance for Maniac was pitiful. Well, on to truck number 3, we've got Black Stallion coming out for freestyle, and well, let's hope he does better than his counterpart Overkill and see how well he's able to. Oh Lord. Anybody that is on that side of the arena should probably move like now. I think he's going for some kind of long jump record. Oh boy. Oh Lord. And there he goes. Up and over onto the container. He's on all 4s. I guess we're going to... Well, let him keep going. He's going the other way. He's going to... Yep. Is he over? Yep. We're not going to be able to get that off the wall. Like, that's stuck there now. Kind of going to break the wall for a minute, but Gibbs, I know this is one of your trucks. I hope you feel bad. I hope you rewatching this. I hope you feel bad. You did that. Yeah, right there. You did that. Should feel bad. I hope Mike Fodder sees this and haunts you in your sleep. You deserve that. That was pitiful. Anyway, we're already halfway through our freestyle bracket, and I'll be honest, I've kind of lost faith in what our drivers are capable of. This is pitiful. Kind of sad, but you can kind of see the other truck at the back of the tunnel there, sitting there waiting for the go. Not entirely sure what's taking them so long, but coming up next, and our number 4 spot for freestyle, please, God, let them fill 2 minutes, is going to be... He was a semifinalist in the redemption bracket. It is going to be Barefoot coming out for his freestyle run eventually. Not entirely sure if they're having some motor issues in the back of the tunnel there or what's going on. Oh, you could hear him. Here he comes. All right. That's more like it. There we go. The only Dodge running this evening barefoot, ladies and gentlemen. Honestly, this is a scheme that I wasn't really accustomed to. I didn't know much about from my childhood. I really like this. I kind of like the stripes and everything on the back. It's really unique and different. All right. First obstacle is going to be the... All right. Not bad. Up and over the container. So far, it's a very conservative run. Nothing too crazy, nothing too insane. And I spoke too soon. What is he doing? Oh, my Lord. Trying to get a slap wheelie, maybe? There we go. Excellent slap wheelie across the stadium floor. Up and over the container. Excellent job there. Drifting around the course. Finally, he got somebody to hit the bus stack. Good night. I really hope you guys are enjoying this track, because this track is just an absolute blast to watch, and like the racing. I mean, everything has just been so much fun with these guys. I've been having a blast doing this with them. And it's funny because they've actually been asking when are we going to do the next track generator challenge, and hopefully soon. Obviously, first quarter's coming around the corner. Like I think we just posted today that we've got like less than 20 days before our first event, and we got a lot of work still to do at the shop. So whenever I'm not at the shop working on monster trucks, I'm here working on monster truck videos still for you guys on the Fallout Show. Barefoot getting a little candywampus. Still keeps on forward miraculously. I should be paying more attention to what's going on here than real life. Duh. Oh my God, I almost lost my notes. We get it, you like the loud pedal, but can you do something maybe? Another slap wheelie? Yay, another slap wheelie. Don't get me wrong, slap wheelies were pretty big back in the day, so I mean, you can't be mad at it. And donuts. Just let that Henny scream. Okay. Not bad. Not sure where he's going. Keep it up. Okay, he filled time. Here I am thinking that he just lost the transmission completely. Whew. That could have been bad. All right. So that was truck number 4, and we finally had a truck that filled time. It's about time. Okay, good job. I'm not judging. I'm just, hey, somebody actually filled time. And yes, we still have Black Stallion just hanging up over here on the container because, what else are we going to do? We ain't got time for that. We ain't got time to pay people to come out here and get the loaders and whatnot. But next truck, number 5, coming out for Freestyle is going to be my personal favorite, the hometown truck out of Lansing, Michigan. Mark Watrous' Mongoose. 2 minutes is on the clock after that first hit. I am dropping my shit. Immediately off to a great run, a great start here. Getting quite a bit of air over that step-up ramp. I kind of like that. That was an interesting maneuver, kind of going over the container. Oh, keep it on 04. There you go. Up. Looks like something might have happened with steering. He nudged the container there a little bit, and he's not done yet. He's like, I got this thing put back together for Freestyle, so if he's going to burn it down, he's going to burn it down. First time somebody's actually going to the broadside of the van stack. Excellent jump there. Again, over the containers. Man, I really wish more people would actually do this with containers in real life. This is actually a really good idea as far as like making for a race course or something. Prawn, you did excellent designing this track, man. I'm having a ball watching it. Oh, looks like got a little stuck there on the van stack. He's going to whip it around. Is he going to come at the... Yep, he's coming at the bus stack. Oh, bus van. I'm doing the best I can, okay? I haven't talked this much in a while, and I really hope my voice is holding in there because I'm still trying to get over this damn cold. Mongoose is airing it out. Almost out of the damn stadium. Still keeping it on 4. Trying to loop it back around. Looks like there's some pieces still over there from... Oh, is he dragging apart? Yep, it looks like that same 4-link that he lost in racing is hanging off again, but if he wants to keep going, he's going to keep going. And it looks like even the front end of that truck is kind of flopping around in the wind. Looks like he might have one more hit and stop. Oh, up and... Well, that didn't happen in the 90s. Well, a successful backflip from Mongoose. It looks like he was just trying to do a sky wheelie, and, well, physics decided to do something else. But, I mean, the truck is still relatively in one piece. Fiberglass is hanging off all over the place. I mean, I think that was an excellent run. I'm not 100% sure if he filled time or not, but I hope he did. That was an awesome run. I applaud that. But seriously, get some reinforced 4-link tabs or something for the housing. Good Lord. Either that or we need to do something about those racing lanes. That's terrible, the amount of damage that we've got going on so far. I love, as I say that, they reset their damn truck. We're trying to keep the illusion here, guys. Like, come on. It's hard to find good help these days. So we're down to our last 3 trucks for the evening, and I just want to say again, thank you guys so much for tuning in and checking all of us out and just having fun with us. This was a lot of fun of a series to do. I'm having a ball doing it. And obviously, I know when this video gets posted, I should be posting it sometime on Friday, so the 23rd. So Christmas is coming up and around the corner. I hope everybody has a happy and safe holidays. I hope you get everything that you ever want. Whether it's monster truck clothing, toys, whatever, or just even tickets. I know ticket prices has been extremely crazy lately going to shows, but I want you guys to know that just coming out to shows and showing support, you don't even have to buy merchandise, but just showing support and how much you guys love this industry just like we do, it means the absolute world to us. But anyways, I'm gonna stop jabber-jawing a little bit because we are down to our sixth truck. 6th truck coming out is going to be Wildfoot out of the Bigfoot camp, St. Louis, Missouri, and driving like an absolute raped ape. Coming out and just keeping that big block forward, floored, putting the nose up in the air, doing a nice wheelie, walking across the track. And this is honestly one of those trucks I would like to see just in one piece by the end of it. But knowing how these guys have been driving tonight, who knows? We're probably going to see housings hanging off the side of the truck. We're probably going to see body pieces just mangled up in the rafters. These guys just have no care whatsoever when it comes to what happens to their trucks. So coming around into another container jump. I'm not 100% sure. Thank God when I edit this, there's a timer above my head or something somewhere to where you can see where when time is start, because I have no idea how much longer he's got with his time. But okay, that could have been bad. If he was to nick the side of that jump, the container jump, that would have been it for old Wildfoot. But it looks like he's coming back. Going with the green and the yellow. Okay. I like it, kind of mixing it up a little bit. I like that he's keeping the momentum going. That's what we like to see. It's what we love to see. But oh my gosh, I don't even know what to call that. Yeah, that was awesome. And ending it on a donut or cyclone, whatever you want to call it. He's just keep burning it down. Is he done yet? Oh, nope. He's going up for the step up. Okay. So far, if it was up to me, I would say Wildfoot would definitely be in the lead as far as freestyle goes. This is a very solid run. This is a very solid contender here for freestyle. But again, this all relies on you guys. So whoever you guys think wins, it's all on you. Oh my goodness. Whew. Went the opposite way. And it looks like the counter lever shot kind of got stuck there because the wheels all hiked up. But he went the opposite way. What the hell? Could you imagine if he was just a little bit too slow approaching that and just broadsided the end of where all the vans are? Oh my gosh. Awesome run. Absolutely awesome run by Wildfoot. We got 2 trucks remaining still. You probably just heard it. The other one just fired up in the back. Old Gunslinger. The last Ford of the night. Gunslinger is going to be coming out and finishing off the Fords for tonight. And then we have our final truck for the evening. Sounds like they're doing a quick check there in the back. Not entirely sure what they're double checking or what they are checking. We're just kind of sitting here waiting. There he is. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, coming out of the tunnel right now is going to be Mr. Cock-Blocking Ready to Rock, Gunslinger, for his freestyle attempt. And I got to give it to the crew. They actually went ahead and threw their body back together and everything. As you guys remember, in the finals of racing, this truck was an absolute mangled mess. Tire hanging off, 4 links all over the place, bodies in shambles. And he's going to start his run hitting the bus jump into a wheelie over the little hop there. I mean, my gosh, this is how you properly make a racing track equally as exciting as freestyle. This is just an absolute treat to watch. Gunslinger is just... You get a little bit of a weird rebound. You just do not want to end up like poor Black Stallion over there. Oh, greasing the wheelie over the container. That was clean. That was very clean. What do we got next? He's also going to kind of... Ooh, that was hairy. That was hairy. He was trying to mimic exactly what Wildfoot did there. Trying to do the kind of crossover from the step up over to the big container obstacle. That was ball. That took some balls. That was ballsy. All right, coming around. Looks like he's gonna try and do it again. Oh boy. Yep. Yeah, you got lucky on the first run, but that luck was definitely not on your side. Not sure how much time was on the clock there, but yeah, that was. You know the expression, like, just a little too much, just, taking that line, overstepping it ever so slightly. Well, that's exactly what happened to Gunslinger here. Gunslinger is apparently twitching for some reason. Not entirely sure why. You need to just grab it, throw it over, and move on to the next one for tonight's competition. Unless they're just going to leave it out there. Are they just going to leave the truck here? There's no way they're going to just leave the truck sitting there, right? Well, I guess they are. So we got 2 trucks laying out there on the track. And our last and final competitor for freestyle competition, because this wouldn't be a 90s/early 2000s track unless we did it this way. Coming out is Gravedigger. Now, is this going to be a barn burner of a freestyle, or is it going to be a one run and done? Who knows? All I know is this truck's been sitting in the back itching to come out here and just absolutely play ball with these guys. And we'll see what happens. Oh, Lord. All right, so he's going to start at the racing lane for some reason. Airing out. Okay. I think that's probably the biggest error that we've seen going over those containers. Okay. So far, not so bad. He's looping it over, coming back over to the bus stack. The bus stack. Bad. Gunslinger still just sitting there, just hanging out. Same with Black Stallion, just kind of over in the distance, like, well, what's up, man? What's going on? Gravedigger just kind of all over the place, finding whatever he can to hit. Up and over the broadside of the step-up ramp. Looping it around, trying to find another obstacle to hit. Just kind of keep the momentum going. All right. Not bad. Over the opposite way of the container. All right. What's he got in store? What's he going to hit? Big air for Gravedigger going over the container. I'm really surprised the truck has actually stayed on all 4 tires for as long as it has. He's going to whip some nasty donuts in the concrete of all things. That's actually hard to do. For those that know, there's a lot of grip over that concrete area. And he's going to go over the opposite way. Absolutely airing it out in the Gravedigger. Looping it around, coming over, going over the other container. Up, keep her up. Gas it. Get what in the world? Well, I mean, she was definitely doing what we could to just kind of save it there, but I'm not entirely sure what kind of move that was. He was literally on his nose and proceeded to do some kind of a donut, but that was wild. That was definitely interesting, but that is going to do it for freestyle competition for our Track Generator Challenge Part 2 here in New Orleans, and there are trucks and body panels scattered all over the place of this poor track. I mean, wow, what a show. And again, thanks to you guys, or I should say the guys, for coming out and playing ball and having fun with me and everybody here. A special shout out to Prawn for designing this track and being a good sport, putting everything here together, and Gibbs and Rudd and Bev for taking part and being part of this. But remember, when in doubt, throttle out. See you guys in the next one.